Hello, everybody. Hi. Hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to In Between Appointments with me, Liam. We're in the Feathers Florence studio here in the Ribble Valley in Lancashire. And today I'm joined by a really special guest all the way from Weston-super-Mare, a million miles away from where we are, but still
Absolutely.
in the lovely sunshine. Leanne, good afternoon.
Hello. How are you?
Do you know what? I'm all right today. Top form today. Birthday tomorrow, Leanne. So I'm
Is it?
super excited.
Oh, well, many happy returns for
Well,
tomorrow.
that's very kind. That's very kind. So we're good. How is life treating you? First of all, are you in the sunshine down there?
Yes. So it's a beautiful day today. In fact, I had a wedding this morning and it's just the perfect weather because it's slightly overcast and it's not too hot. And that is just the ideal kind of wedding weather. So all good.
I mean, a wedding on a Friday sounds like you're really booked up. I mean, you must be doing Friday, Saturday, Sundays.
Yes.
I've heard that it's the busiest year ever for certainly your profession.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, it's been such a difficult 2 years and been so quiet this year. Everybody's just gone wedding bonkers. So there's bookings and the emails are going crazy, and it's not just myself, but everybody in every kind of profession and other makeup artists that I speak to, we're all having to kind of give each other a hand because there are so many bookings coming through.
Love that. So take us back then. Take us back over 2 years now.
Yeah.
You were obviously terrifically busy beforehand, and then 2 years came along, March the 23rd or whatever it was.
Yes.
Tell us your thought process, what happened, how you got through it. What was that like?
So yeah, I suppose the most difficult thing was obviously when they sort of shut everything down. It was then the panicked emails that I had from brides who then had to think about postponing their weddings. And actually, so it was kind of moving it to the next lockdown when we got lifted, and then it was back again. And actually that short period in between where we were allowed weddings, I think I managed to squeeze a couple in that time. But it was a long 2 years. And actually then what happened was that brides who had been booked previously were then trying to book for this year. And then I'm ending up with 2 people on the same day. And it was just, it was a bit of an admin nightmare. But luckily, we're sort of past all that now. So.
And what have you learned over the last couple of years? I mean, you've been in business and about the industry. Have you learned anything, or is it just you just have to get through it?
Well, I suppose the biggest thing for me was that obviously what I do, because it's such a practical trade, so actually doing makeup, not doing it for so long made me really nervous. And actually I sort of was a bit like, am I able to do this still? Because obviously other than my husband, and he's not really up for it, I had no one to practice on. So it was kind of like, am I going to lose those skills over that time?
Yeah, I suppose so. If it's you've got to constantly doing it, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, all right, then take us way back. Have you always wanted to be in this industry? Did you do something before it? Right back to the very start.
Yeah, so I suppose there is a little bit of a story there. So I have always been massively into makeup, and I actually used to remember my mum, and happy birthday to my mum, by the way. It's her birthday today. So I remember watching her put her makeup on when she used to get ready to go out, and I just remember being fascinated with the whole process. And then as I got older, I started exploring makeup more myself. So I used to take tutorial books, because of course we didn't have YouTube then, and practice in the mirror for hours and things. And then I think, because I've got one of my old diaries, you know, when you keep a dear diary when you're younger, and in there I've put, and I think I'm about 11 or 12, and I've put, I really want to be a makeup artist when I grow up. Yeah. But it sounds good, but it was all because I really loved Leonardo DiCaprio. And I thought that if I became a makeup artist and went to Hollywood, he would fall madly in love with me.
Yeah. Good
would
plan.
Get married. Of course. You know, and there's still time. So you never know.
I hear he's still single, so
you never know. So I had that and have always been into sort of doing makeup on myself. And then I went away and followed a more traditional kind of career path. So I was did some project management, office-based work, got married, had my children. And then about 5 years ago, I had the opportunity to do a course in makeup. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. And I had absolutely no idea how much I would love doing what I do. Yeah, really did.
Yeah, that comes across that passion. But of course, you can use your profession in, as you say, you could use it in the movies, you could use it in the theatre, you could use it in so many different ways. But you've kind of chosen to specialise in bridal. So talk us through that.
Yeah, absolutely. So back in the back when I first started, and of course you learn sort of particular techniques, and then you kind of explore into different areas of the industry. So I had a go at kind of editorial fashion, prom, kind of heavy glam, special occasion, that type of thing, and bridal. And out of all of the makeup that I did, I just feel that bridal suits my style so much better. And actually, weddings are brilliant, aren't they? Who doesn't want to be involved in a wedding all the time? And it's so much fun in the morning. And yeah, absolutely. So I think it just suits me as a person, you know, and sort of getting involved in all that kind of excitement. I do really enjoy it.
What I have learned is that how early do you guys need to get up to be at these events? I mean, we've got the easy job here in making, you know, making sure that the girls are in their absolutely perfect dress. We have the easy job because we don't see the day. What you guys,
but that's a shame though, because you missed that bit. Yeah, you missed that bit. So I think the earliest I've had to get up is about 4:30 in the morning. To travel to then start at around about 6:30. So I think this is one thing that actually, if I was going to give a piece of advice to brides, certainly about timings, is just bear in mind how long it actually takes to do people's makeups. And if you've got a big bridal party that you want to get ready, but only a short amount of time, then you need to be prepared to hire several artists at the same time that would all then work alongside each other, because otherwise it takes me, you know, for a bridesmaid or a mum it's about 45 minutes, and for a bride it's an hour, just because I want to give them the best service possible. So I want to make sure that I've got plenty of time to do what I need to do.
Again, one thing that's, and I'm always learning, that surprised me, we were on a style shoot on Tuesday or Wednesday, well, one of the days, and we had a makeup artist from the local area, and it was a same-sex couple. And an hour and 15 for each model, and I just think the work and the effort that goes into it is phenomenal, and there's so many different styles. I just don't know how you. I suppose my question is, how do you keep up to date on trends then with stuff, because that's constantly changing? Yeah,
absolutely, all the time. I think for me, certainly with makeup, and I imagine it would be the same with hair, is you never ever stop learning. So there's never a point where you say, that's it now, I can do the best that I can and I'm not going to do that. So I am always doing more courses. I'm then part of kind of makeup artist networking groups, so a lot of times, and then I also follow, you know, people that I really admire within the industry. I then follow them on Instagram. So between all of those elements, you do then get a feel for what is kind of coming through as bridal trends, which helps. But to be perfectly honest with you, with my style, I tend to kind of move away from what's sort of on trend and kind of stick with more what's classic beauty. So what I kind of say to my brides is, okay, you know, it might be on trend right now to have a great big eyeliner wing, for example. But in 20, 30 years time, when you look back at your wedding photos, are you going to be happy that there's a great big black line all the way across your makeup, or you've got all this really heavy contouring going on? So I tend to sort of try and steer my bride slightly away from it, just because I think that kind of fresh, elegant bridal look will not age. It's like a timeless look. So I think so, but new products, it's products. That's what gets me. New stuff comes out all the time, and I'm like, I have to have it.
Do you use a particular, and please talk to someone who's the most naive person in the world in life, let alone in bridal makeup, but is there a particular sort of line of products that you tend to use, or do you have to have them all? Do you have to have every designer of makeup products?
So, personally for myself, because I consider myself a luxury bridal makeup artist, I will only use top brands, so top professional, high quality stuff. But what I tend to find is that I don't have a particular brand that I use, but what I have found is that certain brands are good at what they do. So, for example, I'll just try and explain that a bit better because that was a bit confusing. So, for example, Anastasia Beverly Hills is quite a pro sort of top end makeup brand. They are very, very good at brow products. So I will get my brow products from them. You've then got a company called Visart, which is a Paris-based high-end eyeshadow company, and they're great at eyeshadows. So I stock them. So it all kind of depends on what the product is. And that's then the brand that I will go to for that, because those brands that have specialized in that product, they have really worked on the formulation. Yeah. And the ingredients will always be high quality. And I just wouldn't have anything less than that, really.
And a bride comes to you. I'm thinking about what your ideal sort of bride will be, and you can help anybody, I'm sure, as we can. But a bride rings you up and says, "This is what I'm looking for. This is where I'm at." What does that bride kind of sound like? What are they wanting? That you're absolutely ideal for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think for me personally, my style, my ideal sort of bride would be somebody who liked makeup, knew about it, didn't really know how to apply it properly, and has always wanted it done and for it to look nice. And I tend to do quite sort of, beautiful eyeshadow looks. I tend to do a lot of really nice blending. I will sometimes use up to kind of 5 different eyeshadow colors that I then kind of mix and blend and just create these beautiful looks, so that every time the bride blinks, it's sort of, you will catch that in the light and it just looks so beautiful. So kind of somebody who's up for a bit of glam on the eyes. And then just natural glowing skin. So skin is such a huge part of what I do, actually.
You've got to be they call them dermatologist as well. You've got to know all about what's good and what's not good for skin, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just cannot stress the importance of good skincare to brides. And in fact, so what I do is when I have a trial consultation with them, which is normally around about 6 months before the wedding, I will actually put together a skincare regime for them. So obviously I'm not a cosmetologist or dermatologist or anything like that. So I always advise them to go and get more comprehensive advice if they need it. But in terms of just putting together a 3 or 4 step skincare routine, I'm quite comfortable to do that, and I've had really good success with it. So I actually send that over, and that's just included because the makeup will only be as good as the skincare that comes before it.
Yeah.
And that is so key. Yeah, absolutely key.
And I mean, a lot of our viewers are on LinkedIn as well. It's not just going out on Facebook, and a lot of people are business people, be interested in how you differentiate yourself between everybody else and all the noise. And we're the same. We've got other bridal stores locally, and I see that on your website you've got that you offer tutorials as well. Is that how you differentiate yourself in positioning yourself as the expert in what you do, or is that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think for me, what kind of sort of sets me apart from others, if you like, is that I just absolutely love the creative side of it. So using color palettes and things like that are really important to me. So if you have somebody, a bride, for example, who has got a color scheme that they're working with, I like to be able to draw those in, and that's where the artistry comes into for me. So it's all that kind of color work, color theory, making sure all the colors balance together and that they work well. And I think because that's always at the forefront of my mind, so if that is quite important to a bride, that really works for me, certainly. And yes, so the makeup lessons and things like that. So I'm actually a qualified teacher. Yeah, so post-16, a post-16 tutor. I suppose you could tell by the way I'm sort of hands and all of this. I'm like, just come on, have this information that I'm giving you. So I run workshops, one-to-one lessons and things like that, which I love it. Do you know what? I really do. It's so much fun. And the feedback that I get is wonderful. So I'll do a 6-hour workshop, and what I have people do is come in and kind of sit in a horseshoe shape, and I've got a kind of a lesson plan, if you like, but we have some prosecco and all that type of stuff. It's all very fun. But what I get them to do is bring their own makeup kits in, so that they learn how to apply what they already have. Yeah. Because a lot of the time, I think a lot of women and men will buy makeup products and sort of go, yeah, that looks really nice, but I have no idea how to apply it. And I'm not here to kind of tell people they need to just dump all of that and go spend loads of money on other products and tools. They've probably got what they need, just don't know how to use it. So by the end of the 6-hour session, everybody has a full face of makeup that they've done themselves with their existing products.
Yeah, you just, well, what you're doing is you're passing your knowledge on, aren't you?
Absolutely.
You're paying it forward almost, saying, you know. Question then, you've obviously done a lot of different weddings and a lot of different shoots. Where's somewhere that you've not done a wedding that you would like to? Because you're putting it out there now into the universe. Where would you like to be commissioned? You know, it can be anywhere in the world.
Oh, overseas. Yeah? Destination weddings. That's got to be the goal, surely. If someone wants to pay to fly me to the south of France, I'm fine with that. Okay. I have no problem with that. Yeah, absolutely.
So you're planning. Say again, sorry.
More locally, though. Yes. So there is a venue called Quantock Lakes, which actually isn't that far away from me. It's about an hour's drive, and I've never done a wedding there.
Right. Okay.
I know.
All right. Well, it's out there now. So if you're around that area, or if you're in the south of France, if you're French and you're listening to this, watching this, and you want a superb makeup artist, then please put your comment below. That'd be great. Right. Well, and the other thing I was going to ask you was about kind of style shoots as well. Being a professional, is that where you can let your imagination run wild a little bit, or is that where you sort of practice? I mean, do you like doing them?
So it's a bit of both, and I suppose certainly for me, and you'll find this, I'm sure, it is one of the bonus things about styled shoots is that as much as you can do as many weddings as you can't necessarily always guarantee that you'll get the images at the end, the professional images, because obviously people may not want to release them, or you can't get hold of photographers, or you take one yourself, but it's rubbish, you know. So the great thing about doing a styled shoot is that you're all going to get the images at the end. So you are going to have those high quality images then that you can, you know, feature in your marketing. But it kind of depends on the mood board in terms of whether you get to be a bit creative. And actually, I was really lucky recently to be involved in one that's just been posted to Unconventional Wedding.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And so this was back in March, April time, I think, whenever we had those crazy winds, because we all thought we were going to get trapped over in Surrey. Anyway, so that was great. So it was a red queen and a white queen kind of thing from Alice in Wonderland. And it was all very LGBTQ plus friendly. So we also had like an older model, and we had a plus size model, we had a non-binary model, you know, so it was all really, really nice and kind of an inclusive, diverse shoot. And what we did was 2 looks. So to begin with, we did kind of what I would class as kind of a traditional bridal look for both of them. And then I got to be a little bit more creative, a little bit later. So that was really good fun, because I hardly ever get to do that. So it was so nice.
Yeah, just for you know, brides that are watching, style shoots are the phenomenal images that you see on our Instagram and Leanne's Instagram that are we get a couple of models together and get all the professionals together, and we do a fantastic shoot and have a great day out, I have to say. But you've been featured in some fantastic magazines as well, and kind of been finalists in awards and stuff. So your name is really out there.
Yes, I know, how exciting. So and it's wonderful for me as well, just because, and I hope I don't sound conceited when I say this, but I've worked really hard. Do you know what I mean? Like I've worked really hard, and I continue to work hard and absolutely give my brides 100% of everything that I have. So for me to kind of start getting the recognition for that, this is what I've been working for all these years, and all these hours I've been putting into styled shoots, and the money I've put into building my kit. So I've always got the best products, and you know, the time building my website, all that type of stuff. All of this stuff is now finally kind of coming into play, and it's really exciting because I'm just like right on the cusp of kind of just taking off. So it's it's wonderful.
Does the craziness of 2022 look like it's going to continue for the rest of the year? Or are you fairly booked up? Because the bride's thinking, well, actually, do you know what? I quite like Leanne. I'd quite like to talk to her about we're getting married, you know, December, end of the year, next year. What does the rest of the year look like in terms of booking?
Oh God, no, I'm booked. I'm fully booked for the next 7 years. No, I'm not. No. So it's kind of, I have been really, really fully booked. In fact, tomorrow is the first Saturday I've had off in 6 months.
Wow.
So that's quite nice, which is really nice. I'm very excited. And then I've got I'm booked right through September. I've got a few that have now come in for October, but actually November, December, January, February are looking relatively free at the moment. So
all right. Get in touch. Get in touch.
Yes, absolutely.
I always forget. I'm too busy, and I could talk to you genuinely for the next hour. And I always forget to ask top tips. You know, what are your tips for bride? You've talked about timings. Have you got any that you think, you know, I must get this across to brides who are thinking of not even maybe booking you, but booking other?
Absolutely, yeah, of course.
What are the tips?
Have a trial. I cannot stress that enough.
Okay.
Honestly, I can't. So it's one of those things where I think that a lot of people might think, well, I know they're good at makeup. They're a good makeup artist. I don't need a trial. I'll just, you know, we'll just do it on the day. And I actually haven't had that because I'm so pro trial that I get my brides in whether they like it or not. Because the idea that you have in your head when you kind of communicate that to your makeup artist, and actually the relationship between a bride and the makeup artist is so built on communication that if for any reason you slightly miscommunicate, you're going to end up with a look that you don't love. So if at the trial, that's the opportunity to kind of build that relationship, build that communication, try a look out that in your head, you might think to yourself, oh, that's great. That's what I always do. Or no, I don't do that. I'm going to go full glam, you know, with great big feathery lashes or whatever. And you might think that at the time, go ahead and do it. And then think, no, this isn't what I wanted at all. And actually imagine if that's the wedding day and you know, and I think it's obviously because it's my industry, I'm going to feel this way, but don't underestimate how important your makeup look is to actually the whole day. And it's so important. Same with hair. But, you know, you probably get this yourself in the dress shop. People will come in with an idea of what they think they might like, try something on, and then go out with something else, you know, and it's exactly the same.
It's more often than not, actually. It's genuinely more often than not that we have every bride is brilliant and beautiful, and we have some brides going, I want a slip dress. That's what I'm after, and they go away with a princess dress, and the one can be further away from the other. But it's absolutely is like when you're in it, and by extension of what you were saying, what I would say is, and it may not be obvious to everybody, but I would say, when you're having your makeup done, actually get your hair trial done around the same time or on the same day, and also book in with your the studio where you got your dress and come in and try the dress on once you've had your makeup done, because you want to see that whole look. And
the whole look all together, because that's when it really makes sense as well, you know. And that's the other thing. I think another tip would kind of be to kind of just be aware that how makeup kind of translates on camera and how it works with your hair and your dress. You have to have a little bit more than you would day to day. Yeah. Because so if you're quite a natural person, you don't tend to wear a lot of makeup, on the wedding day, you are going to have to push those boundaries slightly. And I think when you go for your trial, just be prepared for that. So try not to kind of overthink it too much. Just trust your makeup artist. They absolutely know what they're doing. They know how to work with your face shape, eye shape, skin type, skin tone. They are going to know how to get you to look your absolute best. So go in with ideas by all means, but actually totally trust the process too, and allow them just to push your comfort zone just a little bit, because once you look back at those wedding photos, and like you said, Liam, once you get your dress on and your hair done, suddenly the makeup isn't going to feel so out of place. It's actually really going to work with everything. And so, you know, be prepared to kind of push those boundaries and step a little bit outside of your makeup comfort zone.
Last 2 questions. I know you've got a busy day. Any don't do's? Anything, you know, is there one thing you say, actually, this is really something to avoid, although you've covered quite a lot in tips already?
Yeah. Don't get sunburn. I mean, it's not rocket, is it? For my goodness, the summertime. And people who then go, oh, yeah, so I was in the sun the other day. I'm now completely red. Can you cover this? No, I can't. It's not possible. You've ruined your skin. You've ruined your skin barrier. I can't do anything with that. So do not get sunburn.
50 a month before your wedding.
Yeah, absolutely. No sunburn.
And last question, where can viewers go? They may be watching this live. They may be watching it on catch up. They may be watching clips of it. Where can they go to find out more about you and what you do?
Okay, so best place is my website. So all the W's, Leanne Hart, HART.co.uk. And you can also find me on Instagram and all that jazz. But my website's definitely the best place. And when you're there, you can request an instant copy of my brochure.
Your website is actually really, really good. And I do stalk other people's websites because we're always looking to improve. And it's really, really clear. I really like that. And you know, your blog page is really good. I'm working on the blog page for ours at the minute, and it's really good. So, get on your website.
Yeah, it took me a long time to build that, and plenty of wine while I was doing it. So it's fine.
We all know that. We all know that. So, well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Genuinely, I've got another half an hour's worth of questions, but we've got appointments coming into our studio. I know you've got a lot to do, but it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very, very much for coming on and spending half an hour with us.
Oh, no, thank you so much for having me. It's been wonderful. Don't often get to talk about makeup for half an hour, so this is brilliant.
There will be other opportunities. I'm sure now you've done this. They'll all be calling you. BBC will be on the phone soon, I'm sure.
Let's hope so.
Have a great day. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be back with another fabulous guest next Friday. I think we've got a venue, Amy from a venue up in Cumbria is coming on to speak to us. So that'll be fantastic. Have a wonderful day, everyone. We'll play you out with a small video as always. See you all the same time next week. Bye-bye. Bye.
Today, you are holding the hands of your best friend, young and strong and full of love for you, as you promise to love each other forever. These are the hands that will love you. These are the hands that will hold you and comfort you through the years. These are the hands that will give you encouragement and support. These are the hands that you will each work with, create with, and use to build your life together. Congratulations, you're now married. You may kiss.